the fake gum prank where it was electric, and also the one that was a mouse trap. Fun fact, did it to my grandmother, broke her finger.
You put your grandmother's finger in a mouse trap? You put your old grandma's...
You don't need to put old. It's insinuated by grandma.
Well, she was old.
She was at the time.
She also had...
She's way older now.
She had some stuff going on too, Frank.
Oh, yeah. She was completely gone.
And you put your grandmother's finger in that.
I didn't put it in it. I asked her if she wanted gum, and she took it like an idiot.
And she broke her finger?
Yes.
You know, though, when I lived at home with the new bathroom, I would hide my shit. I would put it on the other side of the room. Because I was worried. Because my dad would just use whoever's fucking toothbrush were, like, close. Dude, my dad would brush his teeth.
And this thing would come out looking like a fucking, like...
you know, back in the 90s, you ever see, like, pictures of guys that have, like, their hairs are parted like this on either side like that? Like, my dad's toothbrush looked like Moses was walking through it. Where he's just like, move, and it's split down the middle, and this guy's basically brushing his teeth with the plastic that holds the bristles. And then I would know when he used it, because I'd be like, Dad, why are you using my fucking toothbrush? And he'd be like, I didn't use it. I'm like... It looks like it got electrocuted last night. What the fuck are you talking about? Of course you used it, dude. I don't know what it is about dads, but they brush their teeth like they're fucking angry. Take it easy, bro. They're teeth. You're not cleaning the rims on your truck. Like, just fucking take it easy in there. The fuck is wrong with them, dude? It's insane.
I don't know why this is so funny.
It's fucking crazy. Also, my dad, now that we're talking about this, my dad in the morning... I don't know how the noises. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. I really don't. That was crazy.
He would be like, he would make a noise that I've been unable to replicate my entire life, but it sounded like a bus releasing its brakes. Like that, you know? And like,
sleeping at your house was such an adventure because we would wake up in the morning and your dad would be in the bathroom for 30 minutes making, like, you would have thought it was like a fucking, like, cockatoo getting, like, you know, gang banged.
You really would have thought there were two Great Danes getting a bath time in there. It sounded like a NASCAR pit stop in there.
It was...
Dude, craziness. And then also the psychosis to walk in there and be like, I'm just going to use whichever one's close to me.
Who's next?
Who's next? This is why I would hide it across the fucking bathroom, dude. The guy just walks in. I guess I'll use this one today. Fucking Goldilocks. Once he's fucked his up, he's like, I'm going to move on to Shannon's and fuck hers up now. Crazy.
The day before, if you pissed him off, he'd just be like, where's Joey's toothbrush?
Where's that fucking toothbrush? I know it's around here somewhere. And also, I want everyone to know, brushing your teeth harder doesn't mean that's doing a better job.
No,
because
if anything, it's worse.
Bro, one time his whole tooth came out. The whole tooth. Just as a tooth, full tooth. And sometimes it would happen at like noon on a Sunday. And you'd be watching TV and all of a sudden you're like, well, there it goes. It's all happening upstairs. It sounds like dogs are wrestling in
God,
there.
it was so funny. If I've told this story, it was a long time ago, so I'll tell it for our friends here that might be new. We had one growing up that was a 3-in-1. It was a fucking, like, Nerf gun. Like, it could shoot, like, you know, one at a time, but you could put in like a cartridge of like 20. And then it attached to it came a single pistol one. And then it mounted on a legit rocket launcher. It was like a big foam rocket.
Yeah.
And we jokingly, oh boy.
Oh, I think I know where this goes.
Yeah, we jokingly like held up my grandmother.
Yeah, I feel like this isn't a joke,
This
dude.
is pretty jokey.
Joke for you.
Just a joke. Yeah, she was okay.
Oh, your grandmother, who, by the way, was demented at the time. She had dementia. She had dementia. So this is a demented woman, and you're fake robbing her with big fat guns.
No.
Frank, you fake robbed a demented old woman with dementia.
No. My pranks only go so far, Joey. Take it the fuck easy.
Oh,
I think I was gonna
staged a murder scene.
You're making me sound like a bit of a sociopath here,
I'm
Joey.
repeating the things you've done.
No.
Okay, so you chased your grandmother around?
No, chased. Couldn't walk. So she was
Easy target. Chased. She couldn't walk. She was sitting in her chair.
She was sitting down, and like I think it was my brothers or maybe one of my brothers and my sister, and we like jokingly like held her up, you know. And she was like, at first she was like, ha ha ha, but then it turned into not, so playful on her end. Like she was like, all right, guys, like fucking chill out. I'm trying to watch my fucking Judge Joe Brown. And I don't remember if it was me. It could have been me. It could have been somebody else.
It was definitely him.
Who was firing the rocket accidentally discharged and it hit her. Yeah, dude.
It accidentally discharged. You're not in the military, dude. The gun accidentally misfired and there was some friendly fire.
That's how it happens, okay? That's how it happens.
So the rocket went off accidentally.
And
that's so alleged. It's insane, by the way. And it hit her right in the forehead.
It hit her, and I feel like the cheek, like this side.
Yeah. And then she died shortly after.
No.
Yesterday, I was in a bit of a pinch, and I forgot to order. And by pinch, I meant I forgot to order my dog a walk.
What a pinch!
What a pinch! So there's a selection that you could do it as soon as possible, and if you do that, it's not one of your preferred walkers. It's a random person that comes.
Okay.
But it's as soon as possible.
Right.
Okay. So at the end of every walk, your dog gets report cards. Like, oh, he peed, he pooped, So now I get this guy that comes. I'm not going to say his name. But he comes and walks my dog yesterday. And I'm like, all right, business as usual. He's in there, walks a dog.
I can't wait for this.
So then the thing is done. And then the report card comes out.
Oh, God.
Okay?
This piece of shit.
Okay? So first of all, you're supposed to take a picture of the dog. And be like, here's him after his walk.
Okay.
It's a picture of just my elevator.
No dog.
No. If my dog was a ghost, that my dog would be in
Let me
there.
see.
Look at it.
Inside the elevator. The picture is just up the corner of the elevator.
So immediately I'm like, where is my dog? Where is my animal, sir? So now I'm kind of freaking out. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe he was just in a rush. Let me read the report card. And here's the report card.
Oh, I can't wait.
He took a piss.
Hold on. He took a piss. Okay.
He took a piss is the first line off this guy's fucking
I love it.
amazing report card. And then right after that, he goes, it did cocky. He took a piss. This is a human being writing this. He took a piss. It did cocky cacky. He better be grateful and listen to instruction. So now, add that last sentence to the picture of my dog missing. Now I think this guy kidnapped my dog.
We're at the mercy of Mother Nature. We really, really are. Isn't that nuts?
It's like you take rocks for granted. You
do take rocks
You
for
see
granted.
rocks and you're like, it's a rock.
It's just a rock.
It's a
But
rock.
like,
But
it's,
like, this is one rock.
this is the earth, though, dude.
Yeah.
Like, when you see a rock, and not like a man-made rock in the street. Like, if you're out in the wilderness.
A real
That's
rock.
a rock, brother.
And you ever see a rock? Because I do this all the time when I go on hikes. I see a rock and I go, how old is this rock?
Yes. And also,
Where's it been?
I did this. People were doing this recently, but like, I've always thought this from when I was a young child. Is like, take a rock, throw it in the middle of a lake. That's the last that rock will ever be touched.
Probably.
I have touched so many rocks.
Me too.
So many.
You ever think, like I think about that. I
It's
go,
fucked
yo,
up.
this piece of rock.
It's fucked up.
How old is it?
It is, right? You know what we would do at kids at the lake? We would take big rocks, like in front of like Espos, and we would hold them. Because you know how like things aren't that heavy in the water? We would hold them and we would walk out and see who could walk on the ground holding the rock the longest.
Where were the parents? You guys are playing drowning games as children. Where were your parents, honestly?
They were around, but like they were smoking.
When we were in Dublin, this just happened to me. I went to the bathroom. Was that a handicap bathroom? I don't even know. It was a big bathroom. I was under the impression it was the normal bathroom. I had no idea. But I walked into this bathroom, and all I did was pee, and there was a big rope hanging next to it. It was a big red rope hanging next to the toilet, and I was like, oh, this is like one of those cool toilets that you pull the thing and it flushes. That's not what that was. I pulled this thing, and an alarm went off. It was like an Amber Alert, but in the city, basically. The entire restaurant is hearing, I was like, oh my God. And I just pulled it again. That did nothing. And then I I just wash my hands and I open the door and there's a guy running over to a button and clicking the button and the whole restaurant's looking at me. And I was like, I'm sorry. Like, and that it was for emergencies. If someone's, God forbid, fell off the toilet or there was a, something, they pulled the thing, people helped them out. I thought I was flushing the thing.
When I would tell my then girlfriend goodnight stories.
I thought we were going to end, but I can't now. What do you mean good night stories? You would make them up?
Kinda.
Wait. Your girlfriend, what grade?
High school.
Way too old, but okay. So you would tell her good night stories. What's a good night story?
It would be, I would just change our names, and I would just tell the story of like how we met.
Oh, I think you've told me this before.
Yeah, so like if hypothetically, if the girl's name was like Maria,
yeah,
I would be like, it's Granky and Berea. I remember my name was Granky.
I do remember this now.
And I would just be like, one day they met each other and like they didn't know if they liked each other. And then it'd be like, and then the person on the other end of the phone would be like, all right, good night. And I'd be like, good night. Yeah, it was so stupid.
It was. But anyway, so I get to this club, and immediately, we are escorted upstairs to this balcony, and the balcony overlooks like there's like seating below, and then a stage. And now,
Just to set the stage here.
your story, or my story, your story, my story, my experience, but your story. How does that?
Go ahead.
Fuck. So, I'm setting the stage of the setting. There's a stage there.